Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about the most important thing, and that is the science behind manifesting. One will break you, the other one will take you to your goal. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about something that's not talked about enough in this industry again. And I want you to know that there's a science behind getting what you want. And it needs one ingredient. This ingredient will change how you feel in a good way. In the beginning, it will change or it will make you feel like, oh, what's happening? And it will make you super scared, but it's also gonna build your confidence. What am I talking about? Action. So action, manifestation, I think is a buzzword. And I also want to replace it with you have the power within you to change, no one else. So if I tell you that you are the only master, people can guide you on the journey, but people can never ever tell you that you're going to win 1 million by working with them, because it's the process that every individual has to get to their goal. So if the goal is a house, 1 million, whatever, what obstacles on the journey do you have to work through? Because a goal is not about getting, it's about the journey. It's the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So tell me, when you take action over and over again towards something you really want, do you feel a little bit more stronger in what you're doing? That happened to me. So I want to share a story. Maybe it's going to be a couple of stories. It tends to happen with me. It will be personal stories, and there will also be stories from clients or people I meet and talk to. So this is about a girl. We can call her Melissa. And Melissa is English, and she loves traveling, and she's very artistic, and she's good at what she's doing, and she has a very good imagination. But one thing Melissa keeps talking about, how she wants to start this business, but she also wants to market herself out to the world so that they can see what she's doing. Now, I haven't known Melissa for many years, but I've known her for a couple of months, and I've been able to see her pattern that I also can say have been similar to mine, and many of you out there too. So Melissa, she's full of energy, and she shares all these things she wants to do. And she kind of tells me this every time I meet her. But I notice her energy goes a lot up and down. Like some days she's like, yeah, this is great. And the other day she feels tired. She feels lost. She feels like she's stuck, and she doesn't want to live where she's living right now. She feels like someone are holding her back. So she blames the city she lives in. And every time I ask her, so what have you done? What's the action you taken towards what you want to do? And she's like, oh, I never have time. And Melissa is not working full time all the time. So she has all these dreams, but she doesn't take action because she finds other things to distract her. If it's watching a movie or if it's sleeping. I don't know her day fully, but what I know is that she's really good at making excuses. So I want to ask you, are you good at making excuses? Because I used to be Melissa. So if you're out there and this hits you a little bit, be grateful, because this is like, aha, I found it. I found something that is stopping me from taking action. Now, the situation for Melissa hasn't changed yet because she's still finding excuses for why she's not doing what she really wants to do. But I believe that when she's ready, there's gonna come a day where that is gonna change. Okay, so me, before I got into this business, I would always talk about things just like Melissa, what I wanted to do, and I would try to get people to be with me in this project. And then I didn't do anything. But once in a while, I would get ideas. But what I discovered is the reason I didn't do anything was because I thought I needed people to get to the next place and everything. Because it's always been like that, I felt, when I applied for jobs, like I needed to know someone. So this was a belief that held me back from taking action. So when I made a decision to become a coach, I surrounded myself with coaches, and I made my approval from them. So if I started to lose people or people didn't want to be a coach anymore, I would almost take that as a personal attack and get so scared because they had a quality that I didn't think I had. And this took me actually almost 3 years to get rid of. And that's why in the beginning of my career, I had a lot of stop and start. I would get a lot of clients and then it would stop a little bit because I would let the people, the coaches around me who maybe didn't get the same results I got, affect my feelings and my worthiness. And I had to have a conversation with myself and accept I can do it. It's easy. Time is an illusion. I program myself to think like I want. And when I identify, that is something I learned also early from Bob Proctor, is a lot of people like to heal your inner child for years. But why don't you accept in an instant that you can heal your inner child right away? That you will find out what is going on and then you shift it in your time, not the time you think it has to take, not the time you think other people think it should take, but the way you want it to go, how much time you want it to go. And it becomes so much fun when you install these thoughts that you want to think, not by force, but thoughts that will move you forward. And of course, you're going to experience challenges on the journey, but that's fun. It's fun because then you get to learn from them and then a new lesson comes. So to get the science to work, this ingredients action is important. And it feels uncomfortable, but it's going to take you there. And I want you to enjoy these videos because sometimes, and this is something that happened to me also when I got into the personal development industry, I became so serious. Life is meant to be fun. You're not meant to be angry at yourself when you discover these things. You have to see it as like, oh, I want you to see it in your own way, but this is how I kind of see it for myself. I love when I find something that is stopping me from taking action. I love to shine a light on it because then it can no longer be in the dark. And then I feel that I released this heavy luggage that I've been carrying around, sometimes without knowing. I get to live and not let anything control me, because that was how I was growing up from I was little. Until school, people were telling me how to think, how to feel. When I was going to school, this is what we learn. This is all the history. This is how we do this. And then you get home and the parents tell you this is how we behave and this is what we don't do. And it's all part of the process. But if someone, when I was a child, Ingerd, you get to create your own reality with the thoughts. You cannot control anyone else. You can only control yourself. So why don't you focus moving forward on what you want and working towards it and taking action, because that is gonna get you there. So I want to share my last story with you, because when I was 20, I think I was in the beginning of 27, I wanted to work in New York. And I applied for a job at the Mission of Norway to the United Nations. And the first time I didn't get the job. And I was so heartbroken. So before I let you go, I want to share a story with you that explains why you are manifesting also all the time. And it could either take you there or not. But the point is, you never give up. So in 2006, I was in New York and I saw an opening at a job at the Mission of Norway to the United Nations. And I made a decision to show up at the office and introduce myself to the person who had written the ad. I showed up so she could see who I was, because that was the thing you did if you wanted a job. So I went to the office, showed up, and was really happy I didn't get the job. And it made me depressed for a little while. I think for 1 month, seriously, for 1 month, I was feeling horrible because I was thinking, why did they say no? I read the ad and it was like, this ad is me. So what I did is I dived into the depression and I felt so sorry for myself. And then another job came up and I applied for that. And this job was in Norway in an engineering company. And that kind of lifted me up, made me feel a bit better. And that time I also had a decision to make. Was I going to stay with the boyfriend I was together with, or was I going to break up with him? I made a decision to break up with him. And it made me lighter instantly. And then after a couple of months, I see the ad again for the same role. And I applied. And again, I got depressed. But this time it was shorter, because suddenly, and this is how I want you to think about how also the universe, and you could say, okay, now Ingerd is a bit woohoo, but the universe is always working with you. So suddenly a book comes to me, and it's the biography of Slash. And guys, if you know me, I love the group Guns N' Roses. And his book comes and I read it. And I don't manage to put it down because I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And at this time, MySpace is still up there. So I put some music out there that I made. Okay, so I suddenly find the producer one day online that has worked with Slash in a band called Velvet Revolver. I think he produced their first album or helped with it. So I was like, I need to talk to this person so I can get closer to Slash. That's my way of thinking. So I listen to his music and I like it. So that message I sent to him is easy. I get a response almost in an instant. And he's like, I love your music. I would love to work with you. I'm going to London. Would you like to meet me? And I'm like, yeah. So I went and we had an amazing conversation for a couple of hours. And then I went back to Norway. But under that meeting we made a decision to work together. So we made a decision to work together in Los Angeles, where he lives. I didn't know how to get the money, but the thing is, I found a way to get the money and go to LA. Now I go to LA. Suddenly the job in New York, they put out an ad. Okay. I'm like, ugh, there it is again. Now they have to know, I say to myself, that they have to call me in for an interview and give me the job, because now they made 2 mistakes. But the thing is, I'm so sure of this. And they call me in for an interview, and this time I get the job. But before I get the job, of course, I go to LA to record the album. And then I learn a lot about myself also that I work through later. But the thing is, if I wouldn't taken action towards that job and knowing that that was mine, I didn't let the mind entertain that it wasn't mine. I was like, oh my God, they made the mistake. Now they have to hire me. So they did. So I want you to think about, you're manifesting all the time, but are you taking action or are you just thinking about it? And if you're not taking action, what about working through those thoughts that are holding you back? Okay, I hope this video opened up for you so you can see what you can do and how easy the science is, because the science is within you. It's in no one else. You can watch people who have done it before, but the thing is, your special sauce towards how you take action can only come from you. But it's beautiful to have people and guides with you who have done things similar to what you've done, or maybe exactly the same. But if you want something, go for it. Have a beautiful day. Bye.